Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be covering a lot of topics about discrete mathematics semester 2. So if you are a semester 2 student, so yeah, this video is good for you. You can watch this video. So basically, I was trying to start MCQs, for the discrete mathematics. Then I realized, okay, I have to cover the syllabus at least, right? Because if you know the topic, then you can, you can actually solve the questions, okay, thoroughly. So that's why I'm recording this lecture so that I can introduce the definitions, all of the basic major things that you have to actually know, right, before going into the MCQs. So yeah, let's start from the question number one. Question number no Topic number one. So basically, in general, we have 5 units of, of 5 units for what? Discrete mathematics. Okay. So let's get start from the unit one. So we have unit one that's called set, relation, and function, group, and field. So this is our unit one. Okay. We'll be covering this unit into this lecture. Not just this unit, also we'll be covering unit 5. Okay. So what is set? What is set? Set is a well-defined collection of objects called element. So I'm just giving you the definition, just definition, okay, not deep dive knowledge, just definition so that you can answer MCQs by your own, okay. So we have set. Set is a well-defined collection of objects called elements, okay. So like that is going to be similar for the each and everyone, okay. So like set of natural number 1 2 3 4, this is called set, okay. 1 2 3 4 all element is a set of name of set, okay. Important properties that you have to note down for set actually, that is order doesn't matter, repetition not allowed. That means this is similar, and if you write 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 3 like that, so that would be always similar. Order doesn't matter, and element can be repeat, doesn't matter here. Basically, repetition of allowed is not allowed into the set, okay. And then we have different types of set also. We'll be discussing of different types of set also. That we have empty set. Empty set called we have no elements. A set that doesn't have any element, that called the empty set, okay. And then this is the symbol of phi, and this curly braces. So basically, if you write any element into the curly braces, inside the curly braces, that is not called the empty set. So being an empty set, you have to you can either write phi symbol, okay, you can see phi over here, or you can use this symbol that is called the parenthesis, but you don't have to write down any element into it, okay. So example, you can see this over here. This is the example of empty set, like x such that this the vertical bar is called such that, okay. X such that x is less than 0 and x belongs to natural number. So there is no number exists, right? So like that you have to just write some sort of example that actually doesn't exist, okay. Number two, we have singleton set. Singleton set means we have number of element a single. Okay, single element will exist. So we have set this have been a single element, that is 5. Okay, finite set means limited number of elements, like 1 2 3 4 here example you can see this, okay. So next we have infinite. So number of element are infinite. Infinite means set of natural numbers, set of integers, set of real number, because they go up to the infinity, right? So that's why it's called an infinite set. Question number 5, we have equal set is called what? Equal set and equivalent set, they have, we basically have two types of set. Equal set is two set are equal if they are equal, same, the number of elements are same, and exact same element they have actually. So like I have already explained that order doesn't matter, so either 1 2 3 or 3 2 1, this is gonna be similar, this is gonna be same, okay. So A equal B, this is called equal set. Equivalent set is what? Number of element would be the same, but doesn't matter element are gonna be similar or not. Like in the example you can see this, we have in the example 1 2 3, and then we have ABC, okay. So basically ABC and 1 2 3 they have been same number of elements 3 3 and okay, and they are called equivalent. They are approximately equal. So there here conclusion that comes is all equal set are equivalent but not vice versa. Like this equal set always be equivalent, okay, but this equivalent set cannot be equal anyway. Sometimes it can be but it depends actually, okay. Next topic we'll be discussing, basically in the unit 1 we have to cover the set theory, okay. So next topic we have subset. From the name of the subset it might be clear that subset is what part of a set, like if every element of A belongs to B, then A is a subset of B, and this is written as this is called a subset, okay. A subset of B and B subset of A, okay. So basically that is like, that means B have been more elements in compared to A, okay, but also they can be equal as well, okay, because here is equivalent symbol is also used. So here you can see this example over here, okay. So yeah, important note is every set in subset of itself. Every set is a subset of itself. Like we have 1 2, so this 1 2 is also being subset of this own element, okay. Every set is a subset of every set. Empty set means 5 5 would be the subset of every set. So basically find out the subset is what, to the power number of elements. So basically if I have to find out the subset of 1 2, so no, for the 1 2 3 4 4 the power 4 means 16 element we will be getting, and in the 16 one of the element would be the empty set, okay. Another we have proper subset. So proper is nothing, it's like you can say it's kind of subset, but it cannot be equal, it cannot be the set itself, okay. So that's why here you will see equal symbol is not used, okay. This is called proper subset. Subset, you can see this the symbol over here, subset but proper subset, okay. So A is subset of B but they are not equal. In the subset they can be equal, I mean it depends, okay. Cardinality of set. Cardinality of set, number of element in a set is called cardinality of set. Like if we have 5 elements, so the cardinality of this set would be 5, okay. So basically the example we have 3 equal 1 2 3, so its cardinal of set is 3, okay. Next question we have, power set is what? Proper set, subset and power. Power set is nothing, the subset of all, set of all subset. Like if we have 1 2 is our subset, so just add parenthesis and all subset called a power set. Like you have to create a set of all power subsets, actually they call the power set, okay. So total subset is what? So basically for the subset we have formula to the power n minus, no. Subset would be always equal to the proper set, okay. And then let's discuss about the set operations. Set operations, basically we have a lot of types of set operations: union, intersection, and differences, and the fourth one is what? Complement. So basically they have 4 operations measure in general, okay. So basically I'm just giving you the overview. Union means combine. Like if you have 1 2 2 3, but no need to repeat the element, because as the definition of set says that repetition not allowed. So 1 2 3 just you have to write down, this is called the union, okay. And in the intersection what will happen, you have to just write down the element that is actually common. Common element means what? 1 2 2 3 means 2 would be the intersection of this, okay. Differences means A but not B. Like A minus B if written, then A but not B. Like okay. I'm just giving you the example from here as well. If you have to find out A minus B, A but not B means the you have to remove the element of A that is also available into the B. So B is also available. A minus B would be 1, 3, okay? And if you find out 2 minus B minus A, that also will be equal, because the element that is available into the B but also available into the A but not B, okay? You have to just write the element of A, not B. So this A minus B would be 1, only 1, okay? Only 1 would be A minus B, and B minus A would be 3, okay? So this is what called differences, okay? And then we have complement. Complement is nothing, that is basically written as U minus A. Complement means, if we want to find out like U minus A means the universals that you have been given, and U minus A means the element that is not available A. Like if you consider example of union set, let me also show you from here as well. So basically U we have this is 1 2, this is basically what, so sorry, this is natural number, set of natural number, okay? And we have a even number, okay? So a complement is written a bar, okay? This would be what, this would be what, odd number, okay? You have to just write 1 3 5 7 like that, okay? So this would be called this. Hope that is clear, pretty clear, okay? And let's discuss next question, okay? Question number next, we have laws of sets. Commutative law, union B, B union A. Then this is called the commutative, okay? For the, for the De Morgan's law, basically it's following kind of. Associative means A union B. If you find out A union B and then union of C, then it would be equal B union C and then A union of A, okay? Same for the intersection also, it follows, okay, as well, okay? De Morgan's law is what? De Morgan's law is A union B. A union B complement is equals to A complement intersection B complement. A intersection B complement, A complement union B complement. This is called the De Morgan's law, okay? Cartesian product is what? Collection of ordered pair is called Cartesian product. Like if you have this thing, this example over there, if you have to find out the Cartesian product of this person, so how can you do that? So basically 1 comma A, 1 comma B, 2 comma A, 2 comma B. So basically number of elements in Cartesian product, number of element in Cartesian product 2, 2 into 2. Number of element in first set, number into number of element in second set, okay? That would be 4. So Cartesian product will give you 4. So let's see, will it giving 4 or not? So basically 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. So yeah, we have 4 elements. So yeah, this is what called Cartesian product. Okay, let's total ordered pair. Let's move to the next this question as well. Okay, A cross B. This is nothing. Just avoid this one. So basically this is also saying that how many number of elements in A and B is, you have to just multiply and then you will be finding out the Cartesian product of this. Okay, let's discuss about the Cartesian product. Not Cartesian is already discussed. Let's discuss about the relation. So relation is what? Relation is also no relation, not relation. Okay, function. We'll be also discussing the function in later on the lecture as well. So keep watching the video. Okay. So what is relation? Relation is a subset of Cartesian product. Basically this is called relation 1 comma a, 2 comma 2, 3 comma b. So this is subset of Cartesian product. Basically if you find out its Cartesian product, you will get 9 element. Now you can find out, you have to write down 3 twice. You have to write this 3 same this set 2 times, and then you have to multiply 3 to 3. I mean basically it doesn't matter that you have same set, but you have to find out how many elements will you get once you find out its Cartesian product. So that would be 9. 3 cross 3 9, but here we have just written 3 element. What is the other, like what the rest of the elements, did they go? So basically this is subset of Cartesian product. This is a part of this Cartesian product. This is not fully Cartesian product. Okay, so this is called the relation. Types of relation we'll be discussing: reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Okay, antisymmetric, transitive, and then we'll be discussing equivalence relation as well. Okay, so this is nothing. This is super duper easy. That basically reflexive is what, if a comma a belongs to R, then this is called the reflexive. Like in the set A, like here you can see this is 1 comma 1. How many elements are there? You have to be the relation of same with the same element, like 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3. So this is reflexive. Okay, symmetric we have. So symmetric is what? Symmetric is like 1 comma a, 1 comma and then b comma a. Like if there is any 1 comma 2 exists, then 2 comma 1 already exists. So this is not symmetric. Okay, the next is what we have, antisymmetric relation. Okay, so in the antisymmetric relation, what will happen is, if a comma b and b comma a, if a comma b and b comma a both are given, then a equal b. Okay, this is antisymmetric. Basically this is saying what, a and b become equal, then it becomes antisymmetric, because as I already have been told you that 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1. Okay, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 if exists, so you can say this is symmetric. But if they are equal, that means 1 comma 1, 1 comma 1. This is what? So that means this is not symmetric, right? This is just reflexive, because in the reflexive we have been already seen this thing. Okay, a comma a will be belonging from this one. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you that this is called the antisymmetric. If it is not symmetric, it is, if it is only just reflexive, then it is called the antisymmetric. Okay, let's discuss about the transitive. Transitive is the last part of equivalence relation. Transitive means a comma b, b comma c. Then there is any element that exists like a comma c. So basically, if we have 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 3, then 1 comma 3 will be existing somehow. Okay, so this is called like, okay, this example is for greater than. You can also think like that. If a is greater than b and b is greater than c, then a must be greater than c, right? Basically, A is greater than B, B is greater than C. That means A is the greatest one. So A is greatest one means A is also greater than B, right? So this is what exactly example, the best example I have ever seen for this one. Okay, transitive. So equivalence relation is what, if any relation that is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, these all three relations will be satisfying. That will be called the equivalence relation. Okay. So I think till now you have been go through the relation, the set, how types of set, and their properties, operations, and many more other things you have been covered till now the video. Okay. So now this is important topic on which we'll be moving forward. That is called the function. Function is really important. I would say you have to practice a lot of questions for this thing as well before going through for the MCQ. So a function maps every input to the exactly one's output. That means you have every input exactly one. That means two different input cannot create image for a single output. Okay, like I'm just giving an example over here. a lot of people got confused when it comes to function. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you the function actually. Okay, we have set A, we have set B, this is X, this is Y. Okay, we don't have Z anyway. Alpha, beta, whatever, you can think like that. So what is function is? I'm telling you the function is what? A function maps every input to exactly one output. One output would be if this goes to this cannot goes to B. Alpha X actually. 2 cannot 2 cannot create its image to the X because then it is not called the function. Okay, so that would be this, and we have one entity that is not connected to anyway. Okay, this is valid function. Okay, this is valid function, but if you uh, link this 3 to the B, that would be not a function. Okay, so this is what exactly, because one output is not every input to exactly one output. You can, you know what, you can create image of one. I mean, a single input can be different images, but different images cannot be a single input. Okay, so you cannot do you can connect this 3 to the X to the Y because it's not creating any function anyway. Okay, so should be unique. Okay, always should be unique image. All the input entities create should be the always unique and image. Okay, so let's draw this topic. I think you understood this topic. Okay, very well. So basically A is called what, I also explained this topic. A is called the domain. So we have basically this is all 1 2 3 is domain. This is called XY what, codomain. And if there is any Z that is also not related to this, that would be called what, that would be called what. No, actually I did a mistake. I have to not write down this one, only this one. Okay, then it is a valid function. Otherwise, because also we don't have any remaining part here that is not basically creating an image, so 3 we cannot write that. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Okay, so types of function we'll be discussing one, that is called injective. This is one function. Okay, and then we have onto means every codomain element has an pre-image. this is also this is also onto. Bijective means this is both, so this would be the bijective one and onto. Okay, many one function means many one function. I'm just giving you the example of your many one for the many one. Okay, so we have this. Okay, 1 2 3 X and Y and Z. Okay, basically this is called many one function. Many input are going to give a single image. Both are creating more than one element have been creating a single image, so this is called many one. Okay, many one, this is called many one function. Okay, and then let's just do the next topic, that we have actually exponential function. So now you're thinking what is exponential function is. So exponential means if you have any variable, if you have any number into the power of variable, like x to the power 2, x to the power 3, like that, this is called the exponential function. Okay, you might have heard this thing e the power x, a the power x. Maybe you might have been heard this thing into the log as well, a the power x, e the power x, and maybe into the integration you have been solved a lot of questions over there. Okay, exponential and logarithm function. So basically used for rapid growth and used in AI basically. Okay, for the graph creation, that is very important. Logarithmic function again we have. Logarithmic function is inverse of exponential. Okay, so this is relation. If they will be asking you logarithmic function and exponential function, so that it will be the inverse of exponential. Okay, now we'll be moving forward for the group theory. This is something that actually I am waiting for so long. Group theory. This is important. I would say this is highly important, and you will be seeing a lot of questions from there as well. And later on this video, after this video, I'll be also covering 1000 MCQs, important MCQs for based on just 5 unit. Okay, so let me know if you have effort, if you are putting a lot of effort. So make sure to first clarify the theory portion. Okay, then move to the MCQs and all. So basically base is everything, right? So group theory, we will be starting. What is the group theory is? So let's start from the group theory. In the group theory, we'll be covering binary operations. Let's discuss about the binary operation is what? Operations on two element of same set. Addition on integers. Operations on two elements of same set. Like we have set A, set B, and we are doing some sort of operation for these both, set. No, sorry, yeah, that was my mistake, my bad. Okay, basically we have set A. In the set A we have 1 2 3 4. Only we have 4 digits in a set A. We have 4 element actually, so cardinality of a set would be 4. I have already explained this thing, that cardinality of a set is what? Number of element. How many number of element we have, this is called the cardinality of the set. Okay, so after that, what is binary operation? Operations on two elements of the same set, call a binary operation. That means if we have a set called A equal 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So if I add 1 2, then I'll get 3. 3 is also the part of the set, right? If I add 1 2, I'll get 3. If I'll add 4 1, I'll get 5. 5 is not. But 1 2, if I add, I'll get 3. This is also in the set, so this would be the binary operation. That means I can perform binary operation for addition in this particular given set. Okay, so this is what called binary operation. How you can perform? Binary means 2. Operation mean that actually gives some sort of output after doing some sort of calculation actually. Okay, so let's discuss now. I think binary operations is clear. Binary 2, basically you have to just do operations between two elements. Okay, either it's adding, subtracting, multiplying and other things also. Okay, so after that we will be discussing group. What is group? So basically a set is called group. A set with binary operations satisfying. A set with satisfying binary operations is called a group when it is closure. Okay, we'll be discussing associativity, identity, inverse of a element, satisfying. Okay, so now you're thinking what is this thing is. Can you please elaborate a little? So basically closure is what? Closure we have been already discussed. If 1 comma 2 is belongs from the set A, then 3 is also belong to the same set. This is called the closure. And associativity is what? If 1 plus 2 gives 3, then 2 plus 1 also gives the 3. Basically that is true for the addition. Okay, identity element is what? Identity element is called, if I add some values, like if I multiply this thing, like 3 multiply with 1 or 1 multiply with 3, this will be returning always 3. Okay, inverse element is called like if I have the value, same value, 3 minus 1 or 1 minus 3, no, actually it is going to be similar. 3 minus 3 will give 0. 3 minus 3 will give 0. So it's not actually following the inverse property that I have been given example, because 0 is not out there, right? So basically inverse element is called, so I'll show you what is exactly identity of element and inverse is. Okay, so basically this is saying that if you multiply this element from the identity, you'll getting this thing. Like if I multiply 3 to the 1 or 1 to the 3, I'll be getting the same, right? In the inverse element, what will happen is, so basically for the addition, the inverse element is 0. So 3 minus 3 is 0. Okay, and 0 is not there. So that's why this would be not a group, proper group, that I example given you, a 1 2 3 4. Okay, this would be not a best example for a group. So that's the conclusion of a group. Okay. And then we have abelian group. Now you're thinking, what is abelian group? So if a group satisfying all the properties of being a group and as well as commutative, so this would be called the abelian group. And then we'll be discussing about finite group. Finite group means a group have number of elements are limited, as we have already discussed about the set as well. Okay, that's a bit similar as well for the group. Okay, infinite set, unlimited group. Cyclic group is what? Generating using one element. So if you have a to the power minus 1, a to the power minus 2, a to the power minus 3, like dot dot dot. So this is called cyclic group. You can generate it if you can, that means you can choose some common element from there, that is called generator. Okay. Permutation group. Permutation group is what? Arrangement of object. Number of permutations. How you arrange actually data, you might have heard about the permutation combination in class 11th. I think so. Power is similar to the power of other species with exposed. बोला था यार. It's a sloth that the stigma light is. बोला था यार नीलमी. Birds pollen grain can in contact with stigma, effect pollination. Thus, selection of a small animal will have problems, as there is no chance of moisture and landing on a stigma. Instruments flowers produce SCOC, usually representing of the labor. We don't feel that the living is our environment. Oh, different countries use like it. Next question we have homomorphism. So basically for the homomorphism, isomorphism, and we have automorphism, endomorphism. It is like what? Like as we do for the, as we do for the function, like 1 1 on 2 into, like same it is for the same for the group as well. Okay. So homomorphism is structure preserving mapping. Basically, we'll be covering this thing later on the videos. Okay, isomorphism, two group structurally identical. Automorphism, isomorphism from group to itself is called automorphism, and then endomorphism or homomorphism from group to itself. I'll be showing this thing later on the lecture, so don't worry right now for this topic. Okay, and then we have coset. Coset is what? We have left coset, right coset. Okay, left coset, right coset. This is called the, okay, Lagrange theorem is what? Order of subgroup divides order of group. Order of subgroup divides order of group. This is called the Lagrange theorem. Okay. So what is ring? A ring, a set is called ring with addition and multiplication, satisfying properties of abelian and multiplicative associative. Abelian is what? satisfying all the properties of being a group and as well as commutative property. Commutative property means and then we have types of rings. Okay, so basically we have commutative ring with identity integral domain, and then we'll be discussing about field. What is field? So a commutative ring where every non-zero element has reverse called the field. Okay, applications into the cryptography, coding theory, computer algebra system. Okay, we basically use it. So we have approximately done with the unit 1. So this is repetition. No repetition, this is the remaining topic, I think. So that is what representation we have been discussed. Okay, the topic is repeated. So sorry for that. I didn't expect this thing being so like this. Okay, let's discuss about the unit 2. So we have done with the unit 1. Okay, now let's move to that unit 2. So in the unit 2 we'll be discussing about the properties, mathematical logic, what is a statement, what is propositional, what is notation, and many more other things we'll be discussing. So statement, in the statement we have sentence with true values. Example, we have 4 connectives. अरे सिटियां ले आया तो लगो तू का है ना ढक्कन ले आया लगायू का है ना. And then we have connectives. In the connective we have a lot of types of connectives available, and or not, implication, conditional, biconditional, and many more other. Okay, and then we have truth table. Truth table shows for all input combinations. Tautology, if all values are true. Contradiction, all values are false. Contingency होती है what if we have some source of true values and some false values, that's called the contingency. Okay, normal form in this, disjunction of conjunction of disjunction. Okay, so basically this is used in disjunctions of conjunction means this is called the disjunction. Okay, and is called conjunction or is called disjunction. Okay, rule of inference. What is the rule of inference? Logical reasoning method, mods, ponds, modus ponens. So basically this is the symbol that we actually represented. How does it looks? Okay, then we have predicate logic, uses variable and quantifiers. Universal quantifier is what? For all existential there exist. Okay, and then graph. There was the just basic unit 2, unit 1 and unit 2. There was not that much important. Unit 3, unit 4 and 5 is important. So let's move to the new unit 2. Okay, graph theory is called what? Collection of vertices and edges is called graph. Okay, types of graph: simple graph, multigraph, no loops in simple graph, multigraph, parallel, edges allowed, pseudograph, loops allowed, bipartite graph, vertices divide into 2 sets. Okay, complete graph, every pair connected, degree of vertex, number of edges incident on vertex, degree of vertex called handshaking lemma. Sequence of vertices and edges called walk, no repeated paths, vertices called path. Closed circuit will forming called circuit, connected graph is called if there exists between every pair. Shortest path between, so yeah, this is Dijistra's and Floyd-Warshall's algorithm for the find out shortest path problem. Okay, Eulerian and Hamiltonian graph. We have Euler graph also. This is different from the Eulerian graph. Okay, So Euler graph traverses every edge at once. Euler circuit starts and ends at same vertex. Condition all vertices even degree. Flaherty-Selgo method for Euler path, avoid bridges unless unnecessary. Chinese postman problem is also used for shortest path algo. No, basically traverse every edge with minimum cost. Okay. Postal routes, garbage collection, road network, it uses into it. Okay. Hamiltonian path visits every vertex at once. Hamiltonian cycle start and ends same in the vertex. Traveling salesman problem is what? Find shortest Hamiltonian cycle. Trees and spanning trees we have. So this is the easiest topic I think. But yeah, this is theoretical as well. So what is tree? Trees are connected a cyclic graph. Cycle is not gonna form into the trees, okay? N vertices, then we have n minus 1 edges and exactly one path between vertices will exist, okay? And then we'll be moving for the rooted tree. Rooted tree is called one vertex designated at root. Rooted tree means a single vertex exists that called a rooted tree. Rooted tree, okay? Parent and child what? Connected hierarchy in rooted tree, okay? Parent and child called. Leaf node is degree 1 node is called leaf node, okay? Binary tree, maximum 2 children if we have called the binary tree. Spanning tree contain all vertices without cycle. Spanning tree. Fundamental circuit is what? Created when adding one edge to spanning tree, okay? Cayley formula, number of spanning tree. If you have number of spanning tree, this would be called the Cayley's formula, okay? Minimum spanning tree with minimum weight called minimum spanning tree. Prim's algo start from one vertex and grows MST, okay? Kruskal algo adds minimum edges without cycle. Connectivity measures correctness, okay? And separability. Connectivity measure correctness. If you use correct connectivity, that will create cycle. If you remove it, that will create basically forest. Forest is what? Combination of trees called the forest. So we have done with the theory part, okay? So we have done with the definition part. So after that, we'll be discussing about the MCQs based on this topic. So yeah, that's all in this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and bye bye. See you all the best for your exam. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.